All right, TGO members, good morning. What a great morning it is. The hits continue. Day 4 of Pound This Thing into the Dirt. Absolute train wreck of a press conference last night, as we kind of predicted it would be. And we'll get into that in a couple minutes. Some administrative items. We'll do full throttle tonight at 6. Like I said, got a meeting after that brief that's going to be very, very critical. Phone's been blown up even more from allegedly smart money people asking how to hedge and how to use options. It's funny when people are freaking the hell out that the phone rings. We're going to put the live event on hold, obviously, for the middle of April, because who knows? I mean, Shinzo Abe just closed Japanese schools, from what I hear, and South Korea is closing their schools. Closing their schools. These are countries, folks. Not like, hey, the South Prefecture or something like that. This is bad. I think it'll be warm by then. Coaching update. Jack and Lisa, you guys are in. Talking to Kathy and question mark. Like I said, getting my foundation airborne. Matter of fact, was up early this morning working on the website. Top Gun Fighter Foundation. I have to fighter. What is it? I mean, it's just it's a shell. Top Gun Fighter Foundation. Yeah, so I got to get to work, like put a ton of work into the webpage, obviously, but at least we got our webpage up, bank accounts, all sorts of stuff, and we're moving along here. What's really cool, so last night I decided to go over to the Boca Resort and watch the president's press conference because I wanted to see like the man on the street reaction, like in the bars and talk to people, and bumped into that guy. Everybody watched Deadliest Catch or Dirty Jobs, Mike Rowe, and on Fox. Great dude. So I gave him a copy of my book, and he wants to help out with the foundation. So everything happens for a reason. So met Mike Rowe last night and had, what a great dude. Like talked to him for 3-4 hours last night in the bar, and we're shooting the shit. So, all right. So, and then we're going to have a little bit of a come to Jesus moment here. So, hang on. Why is this thing flicking all over the place? Getting old. Stop that. Do this. So yesterday, guys, I covered that, hey, I'm going to try and get out of everything going into the close here. It's a coin flip. I don't know what the guy's going to say. We laughed that I don't think the dude knew what he was going to say. And you could tell by the press conference, the dude didn't know what he was going to say. My God, at one point he was blaming the Fed for the market imploding. I was like live tweeting or live Facebooking on the TGO page during this whole press conference. Yep, and we're going through the 200-day moving average with airspeed. So yesterday when I said, hey man, I'd probably get skinny going into the close because who knows, man, we're in the middle. What did I tell you? I said markets don't like living in here, and the dude's going to come out and try and save capitalism. Okay, this was a coin flip. Okay, I gave you a brief. Okay. You have to do what you do after a brief. I show you what I'm doing or tell you what I'm doing. So I manage, folks, listen to me. I manage 5 portfolios here at Top Gun Options. Weekly, primary, accelerated retirement, this weekly debrief, and solo Amazon. There's a 6th portfolio, which is mine. And guess what? That has to be traded last legally. I can't front one. Run. So you know what sucks is my personal trading account is not doing as well as all the TGO accounts. Okay, I briefed you on this. You can't front run. I know other services actually do, but I can't place trades in front of you in my personal account. It's unethical and it's called front running. Anyway, so what did I say yesterday? I'm like, I'm going to try and get out of most of this stuff. Who did I talk to? Doc and Tava. We were texting last night, some of my other coaching clients. And I said, hey, I might keep some disaster whatevers on just in case, he does completely fumble it and the market implodes. So Managing I didn't even get to do any of my stuff last night. So the last 30 minutes of trading, I'm trying to go across 5 portfolios and exit positions. Some I did, some didn't get filled. I don't even think I got to the weekly options portfolio before the closing bell. This is work, folks. Okay, so it's work to do this. So I am still in some of the bearish trades. Okay, so this is the type of stuff that I have to deal with. Okay. Not going to name any names, but oh shit, I closed my position so I could have made lots more. Shit. I'm like, don't think like that. No one has gone broke taking a profit. I'm going to do exactly what I did Tuesday and yesterday, tomorrow at the open. I didn't get out of everything before the closing, supposed to be bell, because I have to go across 4 portfolios, but that was luck. Okay. Tried to close everything that I could, didn't get to all of it. That's, well, maybe bad luck or good luck, right? Whatever. Here's what I'm getting at. I was confused. You said it could be bad. That's why he is doing it after hours. Then you said you were closing everything. That's twice I got too early. Every time I could have doubled my portfolio. Fuck. That's exactly what I said. I got out of everything in 2 portfolios, and the other 2 I didn't even get to before the closing bell. No one's going to go broke taking a profit. You have to change your mentality. Last night, midnight, as predicted, he was only going to do harm to the market, not trying to be a prick whiz. But what you said he was probably going to talk it up and we should close our positions. And it was what you were going to do and what I did. So I'm not printing money. Hey guys, then clearly my answer as soon as I wake up this morning is then do your own trading and stop listening to me because I clearly suck. Guys, stuff like this really burns my ass. Okay, if you're making money in this market, you are doing better than 99.9% of the people walking down the street right now or in your supermarket. Guys, this is ridiculous. And this is another reason, no offense to folks, that I shouldn't communicate directly one-on-one with members unless you're in the coaching program. That's the type of shit I get. So, going forward, man, I'm just not going to respond to any of those. There's too many of you, and I'm not in the mood to get those type of things. I told you what I was going to do. I tried to do it, and because sometimes it's better to be lucky and good. That's absolutely, and I said it was a coin flip yesterday. I don't know what the market's going to do. Got skinny in 2 portfolios, tried to get over to the other 3. I actually misspoke in that text with that guy because I have 5 portfolios in my personal one, guys. So anyway, really, really annoying. So please do me a favor and kind of keep that type of crap to yourself, because it's if you're making money and you're going to give me shit that you could have made more money, you're a pig. Everybody understand that? Pigs get slaughtered. So anyway, let's go. Let's memorialize this time last Thursday. This time last Thursday, guys. I briefed you on this. This was Thursday of last week. We briefed this sitting here this time last week, guys. We briefed this. And here we are. What's the VIX at today? VIX. 33. 33 on the VIX. So people keep asking, cell phones buzz, and like I said, from catching shit from some people because they could have made more money. I'm getting calls from people who literally run billion-dollar hedge funds asking for trading advice from me, folks. But anyway, so let's just do the brief, and then we'll get into some other issues. Japan, ladies and gentlemen, and China have closed their schools. Closed. Already, Susie, did you see what happened at Costco? Susie, I sent Susie to Costco the other day, and she couldn't make it because of cheerleading. Where is it? Costco has sold out of their emergency food kits online. I appreciate it, Tamara. Tamara, you know me. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. There's zero filter with me, and that type of shit gets under my skin. And that's ridiculous. Being accused of saying one thing and doing the other is it's an assault on my integrity and my character. and homie don't put up for that shit ever. So Costco sold out of their emergency food kits, which is holy crap. So anyway, Japan, China closed their schools. First of all, there you go. I appreciate it, guys. We're gonna move on. This is just the other reason I bring that up is because when people contact me individually, even if they're not in coaching, I kind of answer and get around, and that turned into like essentially coaching. And I'm not a charity, and I'm not going to waste any more time on people like that. So here we go. Yeah, Jackie, 3M's out of masks. All right, you ready for this? Iran's vice president is infected. Iran's ambassador to the Vatican is dead. You ready for this, idiot? My ad blocker. The Pope went and met, excuse me, with coronavirus victims, and then went and did mass and shook hands with people. Did you see this? This is breaking news this morning. The Pope most likely has coronavirus. This isn't a Hollywood movie, folks. This shit is happening. Oh, hey, maybe you heard this 2 months ago. Scientists discover HIV-like mutation, which makes coronavirus extremely infectious. An HIV-like mutation with that bind to human cells up to 1,000 times stronger than the SARS virus. Read that again, but slower. Folks, this is in the South China Morning Post. This is, I got it off Zero Hedge, but you ready? Let me click on the South China Morning Post. This is their paper over there, folks. The Chinese government, as I briefed you earlier in the week, is starting to slow walk to the world that this was a weapon and it got out. Look at this. This is the South China Morning Post. What? Holy crap. This is insanity. The Holy Father, after Ash Wednesday yesterday, most likely has coronavirus, and the dude's old. How's everybody feeling? Well, let's step through this. The press conference last night was a partial birth abortion. It was the dumbest thing the president could have done. Attacking the Fed, attacking Democrats. He lied through his teeth. Not one question. Tavo, Doc, and I were texting, and not one question about where this came from. Mr. President, what is this? Mr. President, who allowed infected people back into the country? Either the media are really, really stupid, or they were all told you will not ask this question or you will never be in the White House again. That might be part of it, man. You didn't see Jim Acosta in there, did you? Or I didn't. I would have thought he'd be frothing at the mouth. So, and again, I remember, folks, I take no glee in others' misfortunes, especially people dying and shit like that. But we have freaking nailed this, guys. Okay. How many times did I say the market does not live between the 50 and 200-day moving average? It does not live in there. This is all great lessons learned, folks, for the future. God forbid we have some other time like this, but it's not going to hang out here. And it didn't. Look at that acceleration to the downside. Yeah, no, and I appreciate it, guys. The text and emails about how well you're doing is fantastic. But, there's some people who, looking for fly shit and sugar. But here we are right here, man. This is the precipice. Anybody know why we stopped right here? This is machines, man. There's a lot of people. I got a 1:30 brief I'm going to do for the public, and then we have our 6 p.m. tonight. I have 3 other calls today with institutional guys and hedge fund guys who the machines are off, and Guess what? Dudes and ladies have to be sitting in rooms making decisions today. They should have been making them there. They should have been making them there, and there should have been making them there. So now, if you're long 1,000, yeah, exactly. Whoever just wrote that, holy margin call, Batman. The threat to all of this and our great bearishness trades and everything like that is what? Anybody? Well, let me step through the rest of the brief and I'm going to tell you what's the threat. So Donald Trump, you got to give him credit last night for this. And the dude needs different makeup. Literally, he looked like a Cheeto last night. I don't know what he does. What's he use? Sun-In on his face. He looked bad. And his demeanor, folks, and I was texting with my sister who knows Donald Trump. She's worked with Donald Trump doing big real estate deals in New York. She's like, he's lying. I'm like, I know. When you see the president when he's comfortable and happy and he's telling the truth, he's good. You could tell he was full of shit last night or full of Cheetos. He was orangey. He was lying. He knew he was lying. I got it. It was oozing off the screen. And he didn't, to be honest with you folks, say anything that the CDC press conference didn't say the day before. Because, he was going apeshit apparently. He was furious that somebody said, she talked to our kids and schools might be closed. And then finally a reporter did ask that, like, well, what should we be taking precautions? And the president's like, yeah, we actually should be doing all that. What? So this, in my opinion, folks, this press conference was not needed and it made it worse. But the president did exactly what Xi Jinping did. Guess who's in charge of the coronavirus? My number 2. Anybody seen Xi Jinping in 2 weeks? The answer is no. He came out, he was gone for a week and a half, came out for that brief, hey, let me go to a hospital, and nobody's seen him since. Anybody seen the dear leader of North Korea? What am I getting at? So Donald Trump, by appointing Mike Pence, is doing what? If this thing works out and we're all fine, I'm huge, I take credit for it. If this thing doesn't, Mike Pence has a Greyhound bus coming right for him, and he can just lay down. He's going to get run over. So you got to give the president credit for that. Let me make the vice president charge all this shit. And then it was embarrassing last night when he's talking about the Fed and the market would be up, Well, yeah, it's a little bit of the coronavirus. And he also did what? The market's imploding because of Bernie Sanders. He turned a press conference about a pandemic to talking about Bernie Sanders and the market's going to implode if this guy wins the presidency. I'm like, oh my God. As he was talking last night, and like I said, I was tweeting with some of my coaching members. The futures were down like 420 points at one point. I'm like, oh my God, stop talking. Or actually keep talking if you got all your bearish positions on. Yesterday, during his press conference, breaking news that the first confirmed case of coronavirus in Northern California from an unknown source, meaning this person didn't have contact with anybody from anywhere and at all. How do you get it like in the wind? That should scare the shit out of you. And a confirmed case, New York Mayor Bill de Blasio, 1,200 public hospital beds that can be made available. Look at this shit, folks. What did I tell you 3-4 weeks ago when they built, a month ago, when they built those emergency hospitals in China? Governments don't order emergency Chinas in hospitals or emergency hospitals be built within 2 days. Folks, and I feel like a broken record, but I have to keep saying this because the more we say it maybe the market will start listening and people start listening. China knows what this is. I just showed you that the South China Morning Post said, yeah, this has got some weird HIV shit in it, which makes it 1,000 times worse than SARS. Are you kidding me? Market being down 650 right now is we're going lower, folks. So it's insane. There you go, Kevin. Awesome. Yeah, and guys, how many times have I told you? And our weekly debrief last week, we nailed everything. The three things we covered, we put on a bull put spread on Gilead that expired for max profit, and our FXI and Apple Iron Condors hit max profit. Another freaking fantastic week. The biggest shitty trade in the past couple weeks was Visa, but hey man, I briefed that. I said we are playing musical chairs up here, and when the music stops, it's going to be violent. It's going to take markets take the escalator up and the elevator down. This took the window. So the Visa trade, I think when I did the math before I jumped on, all across the portfolios, they're up based on the trades that I've covered this week, $232,000. If you're going to wank about Visa, you got problems. Or you only did the Visa trade. I mean, my God, man. Nice job, Chuck. Pension charge. How about this? China's shutting down its borders. Well, they should. That's crazy. No, I mean, shutting their borders down from people coming back. They don't want reinfection from abroad. What? Yeah. Holy crap. Brazil. You heard it here a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. I'm actually going out to dinner with her and her husband tonight. Susie and I, and those two, I'm getting more intelligence tonight. Before I go up to the hedge fund thing, I told you that there were 20 people infected in Brazil, and she's telling me that it's higher, but Brazil just did the whole, we have one. Everybody see how this works? It's a handful, nobody panic, and then it's like that. It's a linear progression, folks. Wow, Christine, fantastic. Good for you. I think this is another 1,000-point down day. So EWZ, I am still in one of the burner trades that I put yesterday. I bought puts. I bought more puts at the open in this portfolio. This is the weekly debrief portfolio. EWZ there is no bottom. We are at it's lookout below. The last 37 bucks. It is that EWZ is imploding. So right now you could sell an at the money bear call spread out the Friday. I think this thing is going even lower. I don't even think there's any premium. Yeah, there's probably not even any premium in a. Well, no, there is. Yeah, I'd sell, and this isn't even at the money. This is a 39.40. I'd go out the Friday on EWZ and I do 300. Remember, and I briefed you on this yesterday in Accelerated Retirement. When I say pound it into the dirt, I need to be more clear with my kind of lingo. Pound it into the dirt means I double my position size. I double my risk. Everything's doubled, folks. But when you see this, this is the definition, folks, of pounding it into the dirt. Now we're down over 700. We are not going to hold this 200-day moving average. So now where's all my technical analysis, folks? Somebody give me the next stop. I don't need. Now look at that. We smashed this with airspeed, guys. Absolutely imploding. Ooh, look at that. Counterfeit masks. All right, let me keep going. So we talked about Brazil. We talked about the press conference. That was an absolute joke. The lady, this is not bullshit. The lady who was screaming like Chicken Little during the press conference is Rod Rosenstein's sister. There's your deep state family picture right there. Why haven't you heard? Down 750. Why haven't you heard about Rosenstein? He's flipped, which is fantastic. Hopefully that they get Comey, they get Brennan, they get all those shit sandwiches. So, and guys, we covered this yesterday, but with the Visa trade, if you got out of the short puts pretty quickly and just held on to the long puts, you are actually printing money in the Visa trade. So if you managed it correctly, it wasn't a losing trade. It's a great point. Finally, people are coming here. Here's the Wall Street Journal. The coronavirus scare, this time it's different. So for all the idiots 2 months ago who were calling me an idiot about how this is not as bad as Ebola or SARS, we've blown through all of that. And I'll take the apologies to my email. We'll never hear from those type of people though that do the drive-bys. So, there you go, Tamara. That's sweet. Yeah, how about space? We'll talk about that in a couple minutes. I did not get out of the space puts. We can go over the weekly options portfolio. So again, last night going into the close, scrambling around. Holy shit, down 20. We got to go look at what those puts are at. I did not get out of my space puts, and that is fantastic. Let's keep going here. Yep, didn't leak from a lab. We know that. Already briefed that. So this was an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal this morning at 7:29. Been up for a long time here, folks. We're going to be down 800 in a blink of an eye here soon. The Fed can't wait to respond to the coronavirus. U.S. bankers should lead a global response. So, folks, here is and it's weird to say threat, but we're in bearish positions. Here's the threat. The Fed, which the president, again, hammered last night, comes in with an emergency rate cut. That will provide stability for fill in the blank. I don't know, man. I'm Captain Kirk right now. I'm boldly going where nobody's gone before. But the Fed, there's down 800 on the Dow. The Fed is insane right now. They are probably going to do emergency rate cut. The Fed funds futures rate for April? I think is up at 90%. So the market is priced. This is why we saw a little bit of a dead bad bounce this morning, was when it was breaking news that the Fed, the Fed funds futures rate, all of them went through the roof. So the market is expecting 3 rate cuts this year. And guess what? If we don't get them, we are going lower. So, Jeff, that is a distinct possibility. Okay. So we've had 4 of the best days of trading in nearly 28 years of my life. This is epic. Probably by the time we do our brief this afternoon, we'll probably be down 1,000 points here very, very quickly. Holy shit, Jeff. It's awesome, man. That is fantastic. If you guys can make it at 1 o'clock to the brief for the public, I'd appreciate it, because I can grab screenshots of this stuff. But Jeff, that is fantastic. Congratulations. And I know Jeff did what we did 6 months of coaching. He's a smart trader now. All right, so holy shit, the puts I bought at the open are up 18 grand. Can't make this up, folks. So holy crap, we will be down at least. This will be another 1,000-point down day in the Dow, and like whatchamacallit, yeah. Yeah, you know what? I did look at solo Amazon. I told you to buy puts on Amazon, and we bought puts on Amazon and AR yesterday, as a matter of fact. We can go over and look at those puts. But the coronavirus in China threatens Amazon sellers. So Amazon isn't going to be immune to any of this. But, wow, 1,900. That's awesome. And what did I tell you, man? For all you solo Amazon members, months ago, I said, I'm not doing synthetic stock on this thing. We are going to be able to get it in February at a discount. Man, I did not know how right I was going to be. Wow. So we will eventually get back in Amazon, but we're going to pound it into the dirt right now. All right. What else? Talked about the Fed. Yeah, but this one, this is the thread here to bearish trade. So, and this, Larry, you sent me this morning. The inevitable forces exacerbating market swings. Here comes Warren Buffett and the Journal and all the other jealous people. Derivatives positioning added to the stock swoon. Let me translate that for you guys. Options traders bad. Investors say hedging activity by options traders might have made things even worse. F you. You can kiss my ass. So here we have billionaires and hedge fund guys wanking about losing money. I absolutely love it. This brings a massive smile to my face. Oh, good, Asa. That's great. Mike, up 55 grand today, and I sold everything yesterday. Nice job, Mike. Sweet. I'm going to grab both of those if you don't mind. Nice job. Asa, I'm glad to hear that. I think I'm meeting with Doc next week. Or is Doc in here? Down in Miami. Mike, nice job. Whew. Okay, but so this is funny. Derivatives activity and heavy selling from funds that tend to make knee-jerk buying and selling decisions. Isn't this fantastic? So they're going to blame us on it has been a big contributor to the increase in volatility. Wow. We can switch quickly from a low volatility world. Well, guess what? Last Thursday morning, I told you this was going to happen. 2 days later, or the next day, Friday, trading day, Thursday, and then Friday. So yeah, implosion. Freaking fantastic. Holy crap. So here we are. EWZ puts up $600. The puts on S&P I got at the open, $23,000. Holy crap, man. This is the weekly debrief portfolio, folks. It's up 43 grand in February. Okay. Do you recommend getting out of SPX if 500%? Christine, do you like a 500% profit? So didn't get out of everything yesterday. I already briefed this, not going to beat a dead horse. I am telling you, as the day goes on, I am going to scale out of stuff. Listen to me, I'm going to keep on like some disaster stuff. But if I'm the hair on the back of my neck starting to stand up with the Fed. I do not want to take, for example, Christine, 500% profit on puts, and then breaking news, the Federal Reserve announces an emergency rate cut. If they do that, all of these gains will be knocked down a little bit. So you have to you have to get out, in my opinion. Again, this is your brief. This is called a live trade brief. I am the briefer. I'm also an aviator, a trader that's going to be airborne. And I'm telling you what I'm doing. You do what you do. A couple texts last night saying people actually bought more going into the fantastic. I'm happy when you guys. JC, please give me the link for today. If you're a member, you don't have to come, but I'd love to have you there. It's this. Go to topgunoptions.com/brief. You might have to clear your cookies if you're not getting that stuff. All right. So now we're down 900 on the Dow. This could be now we're up 29 grand in this portfolio today. I think enough is enough. I think the Federal Reserve is going to have to step in and do an emergency rate cut. Remember, so here's and if this happens when we're not talking or it's tomorrow, buy S&P, listen to me, roll inverted, or actually we've been inverted going down, I guess, roll verted and pull back on the stick and get bullish. Buy S&P, do the exact opposite of everything you've been doing. Buy S&P 500 calls, buy Apple calls, buy everything. And you know what I think is going to happen? So we've imploded. We will get that and a little bit of this, and then it's going to implode. That is my prediction. Holy shit, man. Wow. That is awesome. I'm on a 250K plus day streak. Holy shit. For someone that makes under 40 grand working. Well, Jeff, that is freaking fantastic, man. Bravo Zulu. And folks, Jeff is an Air Force guy. So if he can do it, I mean, monkeys can do it. Jeff, 250K. Holy shit, man. Well, that clearly more than paid for your coaching. So you're making more than a Wall Street CEO. Now our portfolio is up $32,000. Let me go over, I want to go over to the weekly options. we're going to be down through 1,000 points in the blink of an eye here. Weekly options is 55. Weekly options account 5,500. Yep. We need to do this. We need to do this. That's fantastic, man. 250 grand. Celia. No, I know you mean that tongue in cheek, but man, guys, nobody's gone broke taking a profit. 14,000 on your Visa puts is fantastic. That's great. All right, so where's space? Holy shit! Look at my space puts. $26,000. And net, 24 net. Wow. This is the portfolio I didn't get to yesterday. The Gilead vertical is a losing trade for the week, but that's starting to come back in. Oops, sorry about that. So space puts, we covered these Friday afternoon. My God, man. Wish it was Friday afternoon. Monday afternoon, we talked about buying these puts. This actually was through an earnings trade, but also ain't nobody. So yesterday they opened up. You can go put $1,000 down to reserve your spot on a space flight. Ain't nobody flying in space, man, anytime soon. I actually heard from a buddy at NASA that they might be scrubbing the launches coming up. This thing is going lower. This would be another one that I'd add to. I'm going to take the money and run here. This thing is going down. I would buy more puts. I am going to buy more puts on this once I get out of these. Holy crap, man. Month to date in the weekly options portfolio, we're up $60,000. FXI puts. Somebody was asking, when's FXI going to roll over? FXI. This is the breakwater here for. And guys, remember, we're a day. This is a day behind. Okay, so we close down 1,000 points. Asia is screwed. This is still the invisible hand of the PBOC. They are struggling to keep this thing up here, folks. When the dam breaks on FXI, it's going to break. What was it in the PLTB? We did a burner. I think. Did I get the PL? I got out of most AR stuff yesterday. Yeah, I think the PLTB we saw. I held the burner trade because it wasn't super profitable. So yes to a burner trade. I do an at the money bear call spread before I even start this. What's the risk? Fed emergency rate cut. The PBOC comes in and does even more of whatever they're doing right now, but more. I don't know. It could go up. Okay, so I'm going to keep pounding the table here, guys. This, I hope, you ready for this? I hope we pull out of this nosedive. So let me take off the Gordon Gekko suit and put on my flight suit. Holy shit. Iran's vice president's infected. The Pope most likely is infected now. God bless him for meeting with the diseased. I get it says it in the book somewhere. Effing idiot for going and doing mass after that and shaking people's hands. Absolute disgrace. So the Pope is a spreader of the coronavirus potentially, and he might have it. Holy shit, man. So I'm rambling, but what I'm getting at is, as an American, we need to unfornicate this. Japan's schools are closed, folks. We have two G20 nations, ladies and gentlemen. South Korea and Japan are imploding. It's almost like we're done talking about China. Yeah, there's still, crematoriums working 24/7. Let's ignore that. But you have to. China's written off. Now we have South Korea, Japan. I got buddies at FedEx, American. Are like, whoa, what are we doing this Narita route for? I need to get paid quadruple time. Dudes are starting to call in sick to the airlines. There's another potential bearish trade would be on the airlines, guys. Holy crap. what's the airline ETF? I forget what it is. But so for this, I look at an at the money bear call spread, and I do the burner trade. I buy some, exactly what we did in the PLTB. Where is it? Oh, you can go look at the PLTB page. I don't want to take up airtime. I do that trade. Absolutely. Okay, so we did mRNA. A couple of you stayed in Moderna. It's up another 13% today. Now, folks, I mean, this would be, I mean, here when we got into it, it was speculation. My Gilead calls. So I did what, 2 or 3 Gilead trades, and then 2 Moderna. Now, I mean, I've just, this is, reality's left the building. If you want to, and I hate speculating. When we got into Gilead and Moderna, that wasn't speculating. That was a Wall Street Journal article saying Gilead's on the tip of the spear. Give me some calls. And then the other morning, Moderna shipped a virus for potential phase 1 trials. Give me some calls. So I don't know. This is an I don't know moment. You guys, if you want to take, like I said, right now I'm sitting here with 2 massive pockets full of chips. If you want to take some out of those pockets and throw them at something like this, that is up to you. Jeff, I still have the Moderna trade. Feels like a lotto hit. That is, man. Yeah, if you're still, what's your percentage gain? Look at that. It's up 101%, guys. So I don't know. Me personally, I would buy some of these. Which ones, Wiz? I don't know, man. Buy some. Speaking of lottery ticket, what would you do? Well, they shipped it. I bought the April. What was the April? I'd probably go out to April. Why? Because that's when the phase 1 trial is supposed to be complete, right? So 124% in a day. Yeah, that's awesome. I forget what ours was. mRNA. Well, whatever. I mean, we made good money in a day, whatever it was, $5,000 or something like that. Yeah, about $5,000, 66%. I got out of mine early. I was like, holy crap! I took the money and ran. So this is gambling at this point. This is pure speculation. But guess what, man? Wow, look at the open interest at the 30 strike. Somebody jumped in with a big boots at the 35 strike. Well, this is what I do when I'm speculating. I do the 35. Somebody else is in there in some pretty big shoes, so I do that. And pound it into the dirt. If I'm going to speculate, I'm really going to speculate. Now it's a momentum trade here, folks. It is in quantities of 5. Increments of 5 or 10 cents. Okay. Duh. All right. Well, I went in right at the bid to get filled, so that's fine. All right. I got enough capital left in here. So yeah. So let's do those. Wow. We're really hovering around this 800, 900 thing. If as the day goes on, we're already up $200 on Moderna calls. Yeah, 39 puts. You know what? I will add the burner trade on here for FXI. Jan, the earnings I think were decent, but it was the reverse Apple call, Jan. It was 95 forward look and 5 backwards. It was inverted from the Apple earnings call. You know how I like to say earnings calls are usually 50-50. Here's how we did. Here's how we're going to do. This was, nobody gave a shit about how they did. It was all about the phase 1 and when Kenya and clinical trials and Dr. I get it wrong. Felucci, one of the heads of the 5 families. When he mentioned Gilead the other day in that press conference, again, we weren't in a live trade brief. I'm sitting here with my portfolio up. I bought Gilead calls. I'm training you to do this stuff, folks. I mean, I do not sit here for 8 hours and trade. Doc and I were texting. I'm like, I'm going to yoga, dude. I'm not watching. We're rallying up 400 points. I'm like, and I'm driving. I shouldn't be doing. Well, I can multitask. Fucci, that's it. And bought and sold into that bounce yesterday. All right. What else do we need to cover? So I think the biggest threat, guys, is this. And I talked to a buddy this morning who owes me a nice dinner. What's the definition of a bottom? Exhaustive selling and a massive spike in volatility. Okay. For those of you looking at that chart going, dude, like that guy, was it Bill Paxton in Aliens? I don't know if you've been keeping up on current events, man, but we just got our asses kicked. That's not, well, year to date, it's an ass kicking, folks. Where are we in this market? Where are we? We are, look where the drill bit just went down to, S&P 3000. We are exactly where we were in September and October before liftoff. Fossey, thank you, Elaine. Elaine's like, let me say this phonetically, spell it phonetically for Wiz. So, Robbie, yep, I'll say it again. If we get an emergency rate cut, it will be bounce, one potato, two potato, implosion. What's a potato? I don't know. I'm throwing darts here. I'm guessing it's only going to be a couple days. Joe Kiernan on CNBC deserves a Pulitzer Award for asking the obvious last week to Fed, I think he was the Dallas dude. So the Fed printing money cures coronavirus. And he said it perfectly, delivered it just like that. And the guy turned whiter than he is. He's like, I was briefing my son Jack when he got home from school yesterday. And I'm like, buddy, they might be, well, they are today, but last night I'm like, they might be closing school in Japan and South Korea and clearly in China. And he looked at me. I'm like, yeah, you ain't staying home for 2 months. We're going to put you out in the yard doing some yard work or in the gym in the garage or something like that. So, yeah. Chi, that's what I thought, David. Right? Yeah. Fauci, that's it. Fauci. So quick recap. Everything the president said last night, first of all, was bullshit, and second of all, was said the day before by the CDC. The only thing that the president got really hot under the collar about was the lady saying, I talked to my kids today and we might, be seeing some bad. And a reporter kind of asked, like, well, what if it does get bad? Well, we are going to be doing those things. So, because we talked about this in AR yesterday. What did I say? I'm like, folks, he can only screw up. Okay? If he gets up there and lies through his teeth that everything's fantastic and it's not, he's done. Right? And it was awful. It was embarrassing going after the Fed, going after Bernie Sanders, going after Democrats, and then, kind of beating around the bush with what this thing actually is. And nobody ever really pressed him on where this thing came from. Okay. So, all right. Did you exit your longs through this? Which, folks, we got out of longs here. Everybody remember that? We timed that to the day, man. I said out cash, long S&P puts, and VIX calls. So I have 0 longs on. But no, the longs I have on were the Moderna calls and Gilead. So, like Jeff, I think you text me or sent me an email. It's fantastic to be looking at a full green screen when the market's imploding. And we actually had 2 bullish positions on, Gilead and Moderna. So everything was going our way this week. I'm on fire. JP, I appreciate your text last night, man. He said the same thing. Dude, every day this week we had the green. The loser, quote unquote, is the Gilead Bear call spread. It was on a tear and that was wrong. So let me fall on my sword for that one. I'll take a $5,000 loss in Gilead. But you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to close the short calls here and let the calls run. Right? That's actually, let me do that right now. So here's how you manage something like this, folks. You get out of the thing that's kicking your ass and keep the long calls, because I think Gilead's going to keep going up. Crap. I got to go manage this. Give me a vertical head nod. Give me a vertical head nod. Steve, I answered that. You got to watch the replay. Well, let me say it again real quick, folks. If you're not talking to me, if we're not talking, or you're not in my coaching program, and you see on your phone, which you all should be members of the Wall Street Journal, if you see or hear a little birdie say, breaking news, the Fed, and you don't even have to wait for the rest of the headline, buy the market with both hands. The only way I'm getting bullish on anything besides our Gilead Moderna is 666. The Dow at 666. That's a little creepy. Is if the Fed does an emergency rate cut. Okay. So for me right now, as I said, as the day goes on, all the way through, the free 130 brief for the public, I'm going to be scaling out of my longs that I didn't get out of yesterday that I tried to. Again, the not getting out of stuff yesterday was not me saying one thing and doing another. You try managing 5 portfolios, and oh, by the way, your coaching clients, and you have a trading account too, which would be nice to pay attention to. I'm not seeing this stuff, guys, by the way. I'm seeing I've gotten into a fraction of these things because I've been on fire all week with you. So let's just say the home front ain't exactly super happy. But I can't, guys, when you're managing 5 portfolios, I come last, which, and after these violent moves, I can't get into many of the things we cover live. It sucks, but I got mine, man. I got mine from Wall Street in Chicago, and I don't necessarily need the money, but it tweaks me a little bit when people are complaining about making money. All right. Well, here's a better question. Not that that was a bad question. What calls would I buy? You got to go round numbers. If the Fed does an emergency rate cut, the 3100s, 3150s, 32. If they do an emergency rate cut, we might get half this gap back. Okay, implode. This is a gap, guys. We probably would go up to like this 3150 area. That's probably what I'd do. So write this down. If it happens today and we're not talking, we don't do stuff tomorrow. Write this down. If you see breaking news, Fed emergency rate cut, don't wait to hear from me, man. Just like I said all this week, don't wait to hear from me if XYZ happens. Do this, do this. This is why it's called a brief. Okay. I'd only go out a couple weeks, folks, because the bounce, in my opinion, will be short-lived. Remember, when, and I am going to start saying when, not if, the Fed makes an emergency rate cut. As soon as the algos see that, they're buying. The machines kick in and start buying with both hands. So it's going to go up and up and up and up, and then eventually dudes like me walk up, turn the machine off, and go, okay, the Fed did a, quote, emergency rate cut. Why? Because we're quarantining New York City, and the market's going to implode again. So that's what I think. Can the Fed jump in with emergency rate cut and everybody go, yay, coronavirus is cured? Well, if they do that, they're stupid. So very good question. I'd buy calls I'd buy calls in everything. Apple, Nike, S&P 500. I wouldn't buy them in Brazil because Brazil is in a world of hurt. All the our stuff is the way I'll say it. Hell, and I'd go buy Visa calls too, but they would be very, very brief. I'm telling you, they're going to cancel the Tokyo Olympics. If they don't, they're bringing people to their deaths. The Tokyo Olympics will be canceled, and that will be a big shock to the market. So everybody understand that. Jeff, that could happen too, man. It can't happen physically, folks. If they come in and do a rate cut, I've seen the algos. I know how they work. They will buy, right? It's just, this is faster than I can blink my eye. There's a billion trades placed when they see that liquidity pumped in. So the market will go up, period. But it could be one of these. Maybe it's a dead bat bounce, right? Yesterday morning, we're up 400 points. Wiz, you're wrong. we closed down 1,000. You're wrong. So, so if they come in, so to Jeff's point, if they come in and do an emergency rate cut and the market goes lower, Fred Sanford and Lamont are both having a heart attack. It's over with. Can that happen? Sure. Will it? Not the way I know that algos trade. Unless every black box is turned off and ladies and dudes are watching the screens. Could happen, man. It could happen. So I'm coming, Elizabeth. All right. Let's review this real quick. See if there's any more stupidity. It's just, it's insane. I mean, we have world leaders. Italy is shutting down. Susie's 50th birthday is at the end of April. And we were going to go to the Amalfi Coast. And, oh, they did, John? Whoa. Villanova's recalled. Yeah, exactly. How's the market today, Mr. President? You guys saw my tweet back to him. That was the dumbest tweet the guys had, and that's saying a lot. Stocks are looking great. Boom, boom, boom. I seriously, if I was little old lady in tennis shoes and I bought stocks because of that, you think you're a Trump supporter now? This guy is a Wall Street guy. He knows everything about the markets. He ain't a Wall Street guy. He's a real estate developer. There's a difference. So, we're definitely not. We're definitely not going now, Gary. That's what I'm getting at. Is Italy? A buddy of mine is supposed to be going over there for a conference. Folks, they closed. What is it? In Venice. Did you see Fashion Week in Italy? What's his name? Armani or whatever the guy. They did the models were in an empty room. It was a completely empty room, and they did it virtually. It was all on camera. The only people walking down in the entire this big empty room. It was kind of cool looking. It was like avant-garde, like nobody's in here. But how about, ladies and gentlemen, and again, my Brazilian lady friend told me this. Carnival. That is a billion dollars to the Brazilian economy. That's why if the Fed does an emergency rate cut, you stay very, very, very short Brazil. I am hearing that they're going to cancel Carnival, which would be just devastating to the Brazilian economy. Everybody give me a vertical head nod that you just heard that. I would be buying, we just did over in the weekly debrief portfolio, I bought a shit ton of EWZ puts. Everybody give me that. Yeah, well, they probably could have ran that headline an hour ago when the market was down 900 points. Of course, it's in correction. So, okay, let me go back to our weekly portfolio so we can see how the S&P 500 puts are doing. What's the weekly portfolio? 4,700. See, guys, I have a list of 5 portfolios up there and mine, and account numbers and shit like that. Can't say one thing and do another. Okay, dude. All right, let's see how we're doing before we leave. Yeah, I thought it's in April, isn't it? Isn't it like around Fat Tuesday or something? I don't know. I'm getting my things. I don't think it's happened yet down in Brazil, folks. I don't know. Somebody help me out here. It's the same freaking portfolio. Genius. Hold on. Where's my Brazilian experts? You would think I would know that, but no, it's let me Google it. When's Carnival in Brazil? Oh, it is over. Okay. We need 4,700. Oh, all right. Well, that's not good. If it's over, did they just infect a lot of people? Yeah, you're right. I remember seeing all the floats over in. Did you see the one float in New Orleans? And it had Hillary Clinton strangling Jeffrey Epstein. That quote wins the day. So whoever just asked which EWZ puts, they're on the screen. I bought at the open 110, of the March 6th 36 and a half. What? When did that just come out, Bob? Holy shit. Spain? They weren't even on my radar, man. Wow. Spain is a massive country. Folks, we have China, we have Japan, so the world's second largest economy, and the world's whatever, fill in the blank, they're part of the G20. South Korea and Japan are shut down. Italy is shutting down. The Iranian vice president is sick. The other Iranian leader died. Does the Ayatollah have it? Did the Iranian vice president meet with the Ayatollah recently? Holy shit, man. Wow. So, oh, Diane, I would not be going anywhere. So yes, like I said, Susie and I were supposed to go to Italy in April, and I am not going anywhere. Oh, and did you see last night the 231 people in self-quarantine in Massachusetts? The hell is that? First of all, what's self-quarantine, man? We have a deadly virus that there is no cure for, and we're allowing people to self-quarantine. Wow. Yeah, well, folks, quote unquote, a recovery. We're only down 500 on the Dow. Yeah, we were down 1,000. But I don't remember, until further notice, you can do whatever the hell you want. I sell every rip, and I am never buying the dips again until further notice. Period. Do not buy any of these dips. Okay. So, what's this bounce here? Good news that is Spain part of the G20? I don't know. That another country has shut down their schools? Guys, what's going to happen when New York City shuts down their schools? I can't have my kids at home. I work. Healthcare costs go up. How are they going to teach? Virtually? Holy shit show, Batman. This is going to get worse. So, all right, we're over. Let me leave on this. I believe this is going to get worse. The president lied to us last night. He did a horrific job trying to instill confidence. You could tell the dude was lying. You can tell. He's like me. He's got no filter. And when he's jumping through his ass to make it sound good, he looks awful. Whole countries shutting down is just, we are in uncharted territory. So I would pound everything into the dirt. And I'm going hoarse from saying this, but the risk to pounding everything into the dirt, now that Jeff's made $250,000 this week. I think our TGO portfolios are probably close to 300 by the time I do all the math in 4 days. Now that I'm not calling a bottom by any means, but we are hovering around this 200-day moving average on the S&P. If we did break it with some airspeed, to be honest with you, but if we close, maybe I'll stop rambling and just say that if we close below the 200-day moving average, it is absolutely bearish. We are in a struggle right here, literally, as I'm talking to you. Look at this. There's the 50-day moving average. Through it, back up to it. This is magnet time. Exactly, Jeff. So look, up to it, is it going to be resistance? To be a fly on the wall back up in Chicago or some of the firms, and that's why I can't wait to go to Palm Beach tonight, man. Markets are going to be closed, but I'm going to listen to dudes that are sitting here watching this tick by tick, yelling across the room, and this, it just turned. I don't miss that stuff, but right now, folks, there is a lot of bad on Wall Street, unless you're us. Options traders bad. Options traders making. I think if we all pooled our profits this week, we're probably up a couple $1 million. I have one high net worth client who's a billionaire, and let's just say he's it's not that he needs the money. so that's my guidance. I think the Fed would most likely do an emergency rate cut, I would think, during market hours, but this might be something, you know, in, do they do it over the weekend? I mean, I don't know. So that is a risk to being bearish. Moderna's tanking. Yeah, well, that's interesting. But again, those are speculation, man. Those are lottery tickets. I took all my chips off the table and then just put a little bit more on it as speculation. So, all right. Any other questions, concerns? Oh, by the ways, if you're in full throttle training, I'll see you tonight at 6. If you want to stop by the 1:30 brief and share with potential new folks how you've been doing, that's great. I got a bunch of screenshots, but it's better live if you guys are there. So if you can make it at 1:30, and I'm doing this because, to be honest with you, Susie's got 500 support emails from people wanting to get into full throttle and how and at a time like this, my phone's buzzing like crazy. Skype, a guy I haven't flown with in like 20 years is like, "Hey, what's up, Wiz? Hey, what should I do with my IRA here?" I'm like, "Come on, man." So I hear from people for years, and now that we're printing money, people magically come out of the woodwork. So I am keeping my word that we're not opening a full throttle live trading. We'll give people access to like weekly options, maybe PLTV, but AR, the weekly debrief, and solo, we're tamping down here. That's for you guys. That's not for me. So, all right, good stuff. I'll get the replay posted here shortly. And then if, like I said, you want to join me at 1 o'clock or 1:30, I think it is, knock yourself out. That's not the link. We're working on a logo. We're working on all sorts of stuff for the Top Gun Fighter Foundation. I appreciate all the emails and texts supporting. And hey, when you're airborne, let me know. I will. I will. And I'm also going to be in about a month starting to hit you up for MAD again, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. So, all right, guys, have a great rest of your day. I'll see many of you if you want to come at 1:30. Bring your best this week, man, and let me know so we can show other folks. So, all right, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys at 1 o'clock. God bless.